Hello everyone, I am Pratishtha and my other team members are Sushmita Sharma and Hina Singh. Today I am going to address about Harvey Norman Holdings Limited, that is a very well known company. The ASX code is HVN. Now this is an auditor's report that will provide a deeper understanding about the company's overview, its performance in the financial year 2020, audit risk model, analytical ratios and key audit matters. Let's begin with the overview of the company. The company is multifaceted in culture that is difficult to define due to the franchisee system it operates. The company has its headquarters in Homebush West, New South Wales, Australia, that was founded by Gary Harvey and Ian Norman in 1982. It has been listed on ASX 200 since 1987 with market cap of $5.93 billion. It has an international chain of retail outlets that are interested to sell consumer electronics, furnishings, and appliances. Also, property investment, consumer finance, and media placement activities are being carried by the holding very effectively. With the expansion of its business in 8 countries around the globe, the company has made its truly remarkable footprints including in Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, Malaysia, Ireland and Northern Ireland, Slovenia and Croatia. The company has developed its operations under 3 brand names, namely Harvey Norman, Domain and Joyce Main. Harvey Norman that sells technology products have 168 franchised complexes in Australia and is leading in the country. Domain that sells furniture, bedding, flooring, etc. has 20 franchised stores in Australia that was launched in May 1999. Joyce Main, dealing in white goods, small appliances, stationery and IT products, have 7 franchised stores across Australia. Now coming towards the key financial data of Harvey Norman Holdings Limited for the year ended 30th June 2020. In relevance to reported profit after tax, it has improved by 19.4% in 2020 from $402.32 million in 2019, and if AASB 16 net impact and net property revaluations are excluded, the profit has been increased by 30.9% from 2019. Similarly, in 2019, the earnings before interest and tax was recorded to be $603.34 million. That incremented to $721.08 million in financial year 2020. Whereas if we do not take into account the AASB 16 net impact and net property revaluations, it showed a difference of $62.22 million. On the other hand, the net debt to equity ratio is nil for the year 2020, which means that the company is financially stable. As a result, basic earnings per share of the company rose in the year from 33.94 cents in 2019 to 39.19 cents in 2020. Hence, despite the restrictions imposed due to COVID pandemic, the company managed to increase its sales revenue for the year 2020 and also managed its stability. Now, Sushmita will explain further.
Hello everyone, my name is Sushmita. As my friend Pratishtha has highlighted about the key data for the financial year of 2020. So moving further, I would be describing about the auditors, objectives and audit risk. So if you look at the first slide that shows about the auditor's objectives. So as being the auditor of Harvey Norman, it's our responsibility to obtain reasonable assurance about the financial statements, whether are free from material misstatements, whether due to fraud or error, and to issue an audit report that includes the auditor's opinion. So looking at the next slide, you can see it describes about the risk factors, audit risks. So furthermore, I can say that every business faces risk with the potential to impair its ability to execute its strategies or achieve its financial objectives. There are a number of key risks that company faces, like inherent risk, detection risk, control risk. So this slide shows about the inherent risk in the Harvey Norman's company. So inherent risk can be defined as the possibility of incorrect or misleading information in accounting statements resulting from something other than the failure of control. So, in the pandemic situation of COVID-19, Harvey Norman has faced the challenges very fluently and with the flexibility, so has tackled the challenges very properly. If we talk about the beginning of 2020, it created widespread panic and disruption to the ways in which government led the countries across the globe, and the companies adopted mandatory social distancing restrictions in the 8 countries of Harvey Norman's franchisees. The way things are going on would also impact trading conditions in the coming years. So, on the other hand, I can say the other inherent risk includes the retail property segments delivered to a result of $204.68 $173.19 million in the year of financial year 2020 compared to a result of $204.68 million in financial year of 2019. A reduction of $31.49 million, mainly due to a lower net property revaluation increment of $34.96 million in the financial year of 2020 relative to a net increment of $70.30 million in the financial year of 2019. The lower net property revaluation increment by $35.35 million was offset by higher rent received from franchises and other external tenants during the year, net of any COVID-19 sent abatements granted in the June 2020 quarters. So, also the further retail results of Slovenia and Croatia increased by $0.98 million to $8.43 million in financial year of 2020. This was offset by a reduction in the retail results for Singapore and Malaysia by $9.44 million to $27.62 million in the financial year of 2020. Despite 5 new stores in Malaysia due to temporary closure to control the spread of COVID-19 in Southeast Asia and the prolonged subdued retail, consumers and business sentiments in Singapore. So, if we talk about the next slide that shows about the detection risk and the control risk. Furthermore, by talking about the detection risk is the chance that the auditors will fail to find material misstatements that exist in an entity financial statements. These misstatements may be due to either fraud or errors. So auditors make use of audit procedures to detect these misstatements. Auditors identifies and assesses these risks of material misstatements of the entity financial statements, whether due to fraud or error, design and performs audit procedures responsive to these risks, and other obtains audit evidence that is sufficient and appropriate to provide a basis for our opinion. So the risk of not detecting a material misstatement resulting from fraud is higher than for one resulting from error, as fraud may involve collusion, forgery, intentional omission, misrepresentation, or the oversight of internal control. So now talking about the other risk is the control risk, which is the risk that is misstatement due to error or fraud that could occur in an assertion and that could be material individually or in combination with other misstatements. Could be error of assertions and that could be material individually or in combination with other misstatements which will not be prevented or detected on a timely basis by the company's internal control. And as an auditor, it is our role to assist the board of fulfilling responsibilities that includes that the company corporate reporting process, internal control and risk management. These are also some of the main responsibilities which are integrity of financial statements and reporting, engagement and external auditors internal auditors, and risk management. So further, the slides would be explained by Hina. So I would.
Thank you, Susmita. Hello, my name is Hina Singh, and now I'm going to explain the next few slides, which includes review on ratio analytics and company's auditor's opinion, which again further includes key audit matters. So let's talk about analytical review. In analytical review, we're first going to talk about inventory turnover ratio. Inventory turnover ratio allows the analytics to determine how productively the company has been utilizing their products. And in the case of Harvey Norman, in financial year 2020, we can see their inventory grew up to 8.62 times as compared to the last year. And the main reason was COVID pandemic. Yes, they had a less sale, and because of which their stock got piled up, and therefore their turnover ratio was more in this year as compared to last year's. And now we are talking about receivable turnover ratio. Receivable turnover ratio tells a lot about company's effectiveness in collecting its receivables or money owned by a client. The ratio in financial year 19 was 22.28 times, and in this year, I mean, in previous year, financial 2020, they had a drastic fall up to 13.63 times. And previous last 2 years, Harvey Norman had a good receivable turnover ratio as compared to 2020 financial year. And again, it indicates COVID pandemic had a bad impact on Harvey Norman, and because of which their turnover ratio went down badly. And now we are talking about the return on investment. The return on investment for the financial year 2020 is 10.94. That means for every dollar invested, a return of 10.94 is generated. This has increased from the previous year, irrespective of the situations created by the pandemic because of online sales conducted by company. And surprisingly, if you would compare with other two ratios, only the return on investment ratio got increased just because of their online sales. Okay, so now moving forward, now we're going to talk about company's auditor's opinion. Ernst and Young have audited the financial statement of the company and have provided non-audit services to the consolidated, forming their opinion of financial year 2020. And they have given their key audit matters. And first we need to know what are key audit matters. So key audit matters are those matters that auditors give their professional judgment, which is of most significant in their audit of financial report of current year. These matters are addressed in the context of the audit of financial report as a whole and informing the opinion by auditor. In key audit matter, first we are talking about valuation of investment property. In valuation of investment property, we need to know why this is significant. Investment properties are carried at fair value, with changes in fair value recognized in the income statement. Note 14 of a financial report describes the basis upon which fair value has been determined. Next, at 30th June 2020, there is a significant valuation uncertainty arising because of COVID-19 pandemic and because of the response of the government to it. And in addition, property value may change significantly and unexpectedly over the short period of time. Due to the forcing market conditions, the independent valuers have reported basis on the existence of marketable valuation uncertainty. Nothing that less certainty and high degree of caution should be attached to the valuation that would normally be the case. Moving forward, the second key audit is adoption of Australia Accounting Standard AASB 16 leases. And now we need to know why this is significant.
various sides of details and warehouse being sublet to Harvey Norman subsidiaries and franchisees. Um, in respect of which the AASB 16 needs the right of use assets to be measured at fair value and need to be classified as investment property in every period. In relation to this, 1161 million of lease liability was recognized through right of use asset of 449.7 million of property, plant and equipment, and investment property, which is leasehold right of use assets, dollar 608.5 million were recognized by the group. Overall, it can be seen that pandemic did not only have a bad impact on small organization, it had a bad impact on be it a large or a small. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching.